Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today this video is going to be a craft with me. I'm not doing anything that is technical or you're not really going to learn anything. It's just a come and hang out with me while I start working on the journals for the women's shelter. I don't have my organizing all done, but I have not done any crafting in so long that I just have to sit down and do something. So I decided I'm just going to start the beginning phases of the journals. These are what I use for my base for the covers. I will, I don't use the pockets, but I get them this way just in case I decide to make one that way. Or, well, I guess envelopes come that way, but I mean, I use the envelopes just because, you know, they make a good sturdy foundation under the fabric. And a lot of times too, what I'll do is reinforce the spine. Like I'll put some cardboard in there just to make it a little sturdier to hold the signatures in better. But right now I'm just folding them. And we'll see what else we end up doing. I'll probably end up sealing those down, but for right now I'm just getting them folded. And I have not picked out the fabrics yet that I'm going to use for the covers, but I am going to use Safia's beautiful fabrics again, like I did before. I have so much of them because I'm so addicted to them. So I want to, you know, start using some more. You know, like I said, I used them before, but I want to make some snippet rolls too with those and have them available to purchase. So hopefully that'll be something coming in the future. But you guys know how it is with me. I can talk all I want about things that I want to do in the future, but my schedule is not really my own right now. So I do what I can, you know, and that's okay because I want to be available for my mom right now. That's important to me and just something that I want to be able to do. I just spent the last hour or so listening to President Trump. For those of you that don't know, we have had some terrible flooding here in Michigan. I live about 30 minutes from where this flooding happened. There was some old dams that are privately owned and had been told for a while now that they needed work done to them, but it wasn't done. And so aspects of the structure gave way, and one lake is completely gone because it has merged with another one. And yeah, this has been terrible flooding. You know, people have lost their homes and businesses, and I mean, they even evacuated the hospital in this town. So it was pretty serious. And so the president came today. He was actually coming to go to the Ford plant where they made a lot of respirators, and he was going there to tour that and to honor those people and stuff. And he also, from what I understand, made a stop in this other town to view the damage and talk about, you know, if he was going to provide funding or not. So anyway, it was interesting to, you know, listen to all that he had to say about that. And I'm not going to get political on my channel. I'm not going to talk anything about, what I think or thought or any of that. Just merely saying that I was watching that because I like to keep track of, what's going on and what's being said. So I got some of these silicone brushes. I think Jersey was the one that I saw using these, but Jean Moran is the one that told us about them. Whoops. I've got my computer in a different location so that I can have the area up here free, because with my new shelf it sticks out too far and you can see the computer right here. Plus it's in my workspace, so I had to move it over there, and I wasn't looking to make sure I was in frame. But anyway, these are used for applying masks, I believe, for like makeup purposes or skin cleansing. And people have found that these work well in Mod Podge or other mediums. So I thought I would get them and give them a try. So it comes in 4 different colors in this pack. And I think it was, I don't know, $3 or $4 for these. I got them on Amazon. So I got some of those to try. And I got my Mod Podge out here. I thought what I would do is cover some index cards. And then I had showed you guys the tags that I made from the file folders that I got from the crazy lady. So I just thought I would put some napkins on these just to create, well, actually I want to put it on this side. I want to save the lines for journaling. But I just thought I would start creating some background for some of the things that I'll be using to decorate these journals and maybe other journals. I have some cutouts from a nature book. Ironically, well, I don't know if it's ironic, but the last time I saw these, I had been cutting them out while my dad was in hospice before he passed away. So kind of brings back those memories a little bit, but that's what these are from. And so I may or may not use these today to add to the cards. I don't know how far into these cards I'm going to go is what I'm trying to say. I really didn't plan on coming on tonight, but I was sitting here looking at stuff and my desk is somewhat clean. So I thought, why don't I just spend a little bit of time and do a little bit of crafting? Now, the second thing is whether or not I can get to my napkins, because I still have stuff piled because I am still, obviously, because I've talked about it so much, working on organizing. I was telling, well, here's some napkins I got recently from, I showed you guys these. I got these from Rosemary Morris. So we'll just see what's in here to play with since they're right here. Anyway, what was I saying? I completely forgot what I was saying. Sorry about that. Yeah, I totally interrupted myself. That'd be a nice one with the butterfly and the flowers. So we'll use that one. Gosh, what was I saying? I hate that when that happens. Talking right along, then all of a sudden, no, what was I saying? I want to get a variety of colors. It's kind of fall looking though. Oh my goodness, well that's a nice bright one, isn't it? Oh my gosh, you guys, what was I talking about? It's going to drive me nuts now. Isn't that cute with the dogs? My daughter wants a dog so bad. That's all I keep hearing about. Mom, I want a dog. I may end up getting her one this summer. I haven't quite decided yet. Oh, look, and there's a peacock. Oh, that's cute. So anyway, trying to regroup my thoughts here and see what else I want to tell you guys about, since I completely forgot what I was talking about a minute ago. I always think of sunflowers more of a fall kind of thing. All right. Now what do I do with the bag? Here it is. Okay. Oh, I was like, what is that noise? It's somebody's dog howling or baying or whatever you call it. It's got to be like some sort of hunting dog or something, because it always has that baying kind of bark, you know. And it barks a lot, especially at night. I was going to tell you, though, that I don't know how long I'm going to be crafting, because I got up early. Well, I went to bed at 4 o'clock because I've been doing that lately. I've been staying up late at night, not doing anything. I mean, God knows I could be crafting during that time, but I just, I wasn't allowing myself to, you know. I just really wanted to get the organizing done, and I didn't want to make more mess. While I was in the process of cleaning and organizing, you know, I don't like to make, you know, because it creates more mess. So I wasn't doing any crafting, but the way my schedule is going, I probably won't get to any crafting if I don't allow myself some time. So what I've started to do, instead of looking at the whole big picture and thinking about everything that I have to do, I'm making focus areas for myself. And if I get that focus area done, then at least I've gotten something accomplished, you know. And I don't feel so overwhelmed and so defeated every day, because it looks like a hoarder lives here. I mean, honestly, that's what it looks like. I've got boxes stacked up of Christmas stuff that needs to go downstairs. I'm kind of using the basement as an overflow area because it's too cold to craft down there, which is why I had moved stuff upstairs to the living room. And so what I'm doing is, I like that when you can pull it off and it's got like the light one and you can still use that. But I got shelves downstairs that I had purchased for organization to begin with. And then I bought some more from Crazy Lady. And you guys, Crazy Lady is not going to be doing auctions anymore. I have enough stuff, so that's okay. But she was a great source for inexpensive, cool stuff, you know. I mean, you guys have seen the hauls I've done. But, oh, I was going to get a water brush to, oh well. Like I told you, I'm not prepared because I didn't plan to go on. But anyway, she's wanting to do some things, like to be able to move from here and get a house and you know, stuff like that. And she just can't do it with what she's doing right now. She needs to get a regular full-time job, and she already works a ton of jobs. She works at a horse ranch and someplace else, I don't even know where, along with having this business with, she buys like lots of stuff from places like some of them are storage units, and I don't know if they're probably like abandoned ones or ones that have been like foreclosed on. The people didn't get their stuff, or it's not foreclosed. It's when people don't pay their rent. I don't know what they call it. But anyway, I think I had that upside down. Yeah. Anyway, I think she would get that stuff from the storage places, you know, at a cheap price, and then auction off, you know, the stuff that she got in those lots. And but she's not making enough money to do the things that she wants to in life. So can't really blame her for that. It is a bummer to not be able to have her as a resource anymore, because you guys know she was a great resource. What did I do with my wax paper? It's probably on my... I got a new Gramercy cart, they're called, and it has like all kinds of things hanging off the side, like pegs and baskets, and then it's got like the shelves for like the regular carts, but it's just got extra stuff on it. And I'm making that into my project cart, like all my tools and my glues and the things that I use all the time. And I probably got my wax paper on there. So just a second, let me grab that. I haven't really got things set up yet where I can wheel that over here, as is the intended purpose for it. So I'm not really quite set up to efficiently craft yet, but I'm getting there. That's the goal, though, to try and have things set up in a way that it can stay kind of neat and tidy, as much as you can be neat and tidy with crafting. I think we all tend to get a little messy while we're in the throes of a project. But I got this new Mod Podge. I might... It has the same thing. Yeah. I might just open this up because it's easier. You know, it's a smaller container and it's just easier to work out of. Probably what I ought to do is just use this and then fill from that one. That would probably make more sense. Gosh, I feel like I have so much to talk about with you guys because I haven't been on here in so long, other than doing a haul. This is not working. I have scissors here somewhere. I was telling you guys about the flood. Did I ever finish telling you about that? Is that what I was talking about when I forgot what the heck I was talking about? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, of course I painted my nails today, so what am I going to do? I'm going to get them all Mod Podge and screwed up. They never last more than a day anyway. The other thing that happened today in our state is that our governor finally announced that we're getting to open up a little bit more. We can now get together in groups of 10 or less with social distancing and, you know, all that stuff. But oh, these do work nice. Yep, I agree. But you know what I'm noticing, which could be a good or a bad thing, is that the Mod Podge, you don't need as much of it because it's staying a little bit raised. I don't know. Or maybe it's just because it's a new one that I just opened. That could be the case too. So anyway, get it lined up right. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I'll just ink the edge, or I can cover it with something, because like I said, these are just going to be foundations. But so anyway, we can have small gatherings again. What else? Retailers can open back up, but it's by appointment only, which I don't like shopping in the first place. I sure in heck am not going to make an appointment to do it. But, for other people, it might be something they like to do. And, it might, I just totally messed that up. Anyway, it might be worth it to them. So, and plus it will, get our small businesses opened back up and uh, get them in better financial shape. So that will happen on the 29th. The gatherings can happen right away, and I'm sure she did this at this point because of Memorial Day weekend coming up. But the other stuff begins on the 29th of May. Oh, and doctor's appointments, dental appointments, those kinds of things can reconvene on the 29th as well. Now, my daughter, I had to have her neurology appointment on the computer today. And for some reason, my camera wasn't working. I don't know why. I could see her, but she couldn't see us. But anyway, and they are not planning to open unless that changes until July. Because I was asking her when, she thought Liz could actually come in there and get a blood pressure because her blood pressure was a little high. And she said, probably not till July. Fortunately, my mom has one of those blood pressure machine things, and she can take it for her. So one of her medications can affect her blood pressure. But actually, it can make it low. So the fact that it was high means that she can increase her new medication like she wanted to, because she went 8 weeks with no migraine, and then she had one. But she also had allergy symptoms right after, the sinus and sneezing and all that stuff, sore throat. It wasn't COVID, it was allergies. But anyway, so she's thinking that migraine was probably triggered by the allergies, which is probably has a lot to do with her migraines anyway all the time. But, she went that 8 weeks, and we were so excited because we thought, oh, maybe this new medicine is going to be the answer and she's going to be, migraine free. But, okay, and I don't, no, because everything is on my card, not ready to use. I don't have my, my heat dryer thing over here, so I'll just lay it. Yeah, guys, I am so unprepared. It's like I have no place to lay it. Get some wax paper and put it over on my new shelf and set it up there to dry. So anyway, she's going to increase that medication, decrease another medication that could be raising the blood pressure, and it's also making her gain weight, which is not a good thing. That's not good for our family genetics, because that runs in our family, obesity. So definitely want to get that reined in before it becomes too much of a problem. When you have a migraine all the time, you can't do a lot of physical activity. You're laying in your bed all the time. It's hard enough as it is to not gain weight. And then when you have a medicine that makes you gain, that doesn't help. So it does not help a teenager's self-esteem either. The unfortunate thing is, the medicine makes you put it on, but when you stop the medicine, it doesn't make you take it back off. You know what I mean? You got to do the work to get it back off. I am just peeling this off. And I know you can use Scotch tape to do this. I just never do. I just fight with it until I get a hold of it. I don't generally have that hard of a time. It's only when I'm filming, of course, that I have a difficult time. So anyway, we had that appointment this morning. And then this afternoon I had to have an appointment for my son with his community mental health case worker. And that's just because of the fact that he has Asperger's, which is a form of autism. And when you become an adult, well, I mean, you can get services there before you become an adult too, but it was when he became an adult that we went there because he no longer had services through school. So, yeah, I just keep fighting with this. And the only thing he really gets right now is what's called CLS. And I can't even tell you what the acronym stands for. I always get it messed up. But it's where he has a individual that comes to his house. Not right now because of the virus. He's on his own with me. Taking him places and stepping in for CLS. But anyway, they take him places, they help him with socialization and leisure and cleaning and just your general day-to-day life, you know, the things that you need to be independent. Am I driving you guys nuts yet trying to get this? But anyway, these are quality napkins. I think that's why I'm having a little trouble getting it apart because the better quality they are, the harder it is to get them apart. But anyway, in order for him to have that service, we have to go through community mental health. And so he had his yearly planning meeting that had to be done before the end of this month. So we had to do it on the computer, which would not be his choice way of doing things. He likes face-to-face. He doesn't like talking on the phone. He doesn't like having meetings over the computer. But, you know, I told him, you got to do what you got to do during times like this. And it had to be done. And that was really the only way to do it. So he came over here to my house and used my computer. And I think what I'll do is just tear a big enough piece and then put it on the card and then tear it off around the card. That way I know I've got enough to cover it and I don't have those little accidents like I did before. But anyway, and again, for that meeting, my camera still didn't work. After I got done with the meeting, I did a restart and just tried putting my camera on, and it worked, and I was able to do a video. I don't use my laptop camera for making my videos. I have a webcam, but I didn't have it set up for like doing a meeting. It's, you know, like I told her, you know, I can look at my hands, but you know, I don't really have it set up for like a face-to-face thing or, you know, nothing like that. So, but that was fine. She didn't need to see us anyway. It probably was just kind of weird that, you know, we could see her, but she couldn't see us. But anyway, but it worked fine. So I don't know why it wouldn't work. She was doing Zoom, but the neurologist uses something else. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, so I don't know what was up with my computer. Now, I had done one with her before, the neurologist, a couple weeks ago, and it worked fine. And I haven't done anything different with my computer. You know, I haven't changed any settings. I haven't used anything different. So, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Even just doing something this simple, you guys, it feels so good. I can't go long periods of time like this without crafting. It just, it's not good for me. I need my time, as Laura would say, Jersey Crafter, in my bubble. Got to get in that crafty bubble and just get away from the world. And I have a lot going on right now with going out to my mom's every other day. I really am happy to have time with her again because, when my dad was alive, they had their routine and they did not really deviate from that, and they didn't want to deviate from it. Their life was their routine that they were content with, and they had the things that they did together, um, and that's just the way it was. And so I didn't really get to spend a lot of time with my mom. When she was younger, we used to, I'm just going to tear that off when it's dry. We would go to the flower places, the nurseries, whatever, and get flowers to plant. And that was always a fun time. And I really enjoyed that. And, sometimes we would go shopping together, which I've always hated shopping, but I would go with my mom just to spend time with her. And we'd go out to lunch and, just do fun stuff like that. And then when my dad got, oh man, I had too much crap up there. When my dad got sick with his first cancer, like he had 4 cancers and the 4th one was the one that took him out. But, when he would deal with that stuff, a lot of times I couldn't be around because I had kids and, they were sick or I was sick because I work with kids. And his immune system was such that, you couldn't be around him. So there was a lot of time in there that I wasn't able to be around either one of them. And I missed it. I missed spending time with my mom. But now that I am out there every other day, I hate to say it, and I hate to sound like I'm complaining, but it really is getting to be a lot because it really makes it hard for me to get any kind of a routine at home. And I just have to figure out how to make this new way of life work is what it is. I have to change, the way I do things. Because generally what I like to do, like when I was working, I would, do a few things at night after work, depending on what kind of work day I had. And then the weekends, I would have one day where I would kind of just putter around, get up late, drink. Well, I never got up late because I was scheduled to wake up, but I would get up, I would have my coffee, maybe, sit in somebody's live chat or whatever, just kind of relax or watch one of my favorite shows on the Home and Garden channel or the Food Network channel, and just kind of take my time getting into my day, and I might do a couple things here and there, maybe a little laundry or a little the dishwasher or something, but nothing real major. And then the next day would be the day that I would really get it together and do more work. Well, I don't have that now. I've got one day here, and then the next day I'm at my mom's. So what I'm finding is that I have the leisurely putter around day, the day I'm home, and then, the next day I go out to my mom's. Well, that's all good and well, but nothing gets done here by doing that. So that is not working for me because I am driving myself nuts with all the clutter because I hate clutter. I hate it when things are out of control and, well, I feel like they're out of control because they're not where they belong. Things are sitting out. You can't get through. My daughter twisted her knee the other day trying to get in between some things that I had stacked up. And so I felt bad about that. And it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous to have the house like that. And it bothers me. But even though I don't always do a lot of work at my mom's house, like a lot of times we're just going out there and playing games, and I have to do a few things for her, or sometimes I get groceries or whatever. But for the most part, the chores consist of feeding cats, giving them water, cleaning out their bucket that their water goes in, and getting them fresh and whatever. Nothing real strenuous. Definitely, I do harder work at school than what I do at her house. But there's just something about going out there every other day. It tires me out. I don't know if it's the mental stress of it. I don't know. I mean, God love my mother, but she can be quite a picky woman. And that's okay. I know that about her. She likes things done a certain kind of way. It's hard when you're having to rely on somebody else to do stuff. You want things done your way, but you can't do it yourself. And you're watching somebody else doing it, and you're not really liking what they're doing. That's kind of where she's at sometimes. So I think I've talked about this before. So I try to give her a lot of grace, but I think it's emotionally tiring for me. And I think that's why sometimes I get a little tired out. But I wouldn't trade it. I don't want it to be any different as far as like being there for her. I want to be there for her. I'm not trying to complain about it. I'm just saying that I have to learn how to make it work for me in my house. So that's why I started doing and I just started this recently because I just couldn't take this house anymore. Oh man, I still hate that when I do that. I messed it up. Anyway, I'll fix it. No worries. Gotta get out of my head and not worry about it because it's just the background. But anyway, it's just a matter of me figuring things out and being able to take care of my stuff that needs to get done, and being there to help her too. She's 78 years old, and I don't know how long she'll be here. Longer is better, of course, but I don't want to have any regrets. I don't want to wish I'd spent more time. I don't want to wish I'd been there when she needed me. This is where I want to be. And so when I have those days where she's kind of wearing on my nerves, I remind myself that that is where I want to be. And I know I'm not always the easiest person to get along with either. It's not all her. Sometimes, maybe I'm not having the greatest day and being the easiest person to get along with. So, and it's a huge adjustment for her being without my dad, and I know that. She hasn't lived on her own even in a really long time. So, there's just a lot of adjustment for her right now. And, then the fact that we had to go right into the whole coronavirus stuff the next month after my dad passed was just crazy for her to have to deal with that too. So, where did I put my napkin right on top of the cards that were drying. I think this one, no, it's not. I was like, I think that's dry. Oh no, my finger stuck to it. I guess not. I guess it's not. I'm used to having my heat gun and just drying this stuff. So I don't know how many of these I'm going to be able to do if I can't dry them. Well, let me pause, you guys, and let me grab my heat tool and dry these, and I'll come back. That's the good thing about not being live. I can pause you guys, and it's like I never left. I'll be right back. Okay, I want to make sure I was still recording. I didn't screw that up. So I got those 3 dried, and just keep going with these. Let's see. Here's this little pansy one. I always think of Jersey Crafter when I see pansies, because she talks about how those are, you know, flowers that her mom likes. These are some of the flowers I used to get when I would go flower shopping with my mom. We both like to plant pansies in our flower gardens. Sorry, I'm trying to get this glue off my fingers so I can peel this napkin. So I started to tell you guys about my son's meeting, and then I think I got off on a different tangent and didn't finish talking about that. But he's got his goals set up for this next year. And, you know, as you guys may or may not recall, that his last job did not end up working out for him. He definitely gave it all that he had to give it, but he just did not have a manager that was really the right kind of person to work with someone with special needs. And you know, I'm not one that blames other people for my kids. I mean, I give responsibility where it's due, but I can honestly say this kid, well, he's not a kid, he's a young man. He's going to be 26 next Tuesday. But anyway, he really gave it his best. He really tried hard to be what this guy needed him to be in his job, and it just wasn't happening. The guy just was not really willing to work with him. It's like he wanted to hire Justin, but he wanted to expect him not to have any special needs. You know, it's like, I'll hire you, but you have to be able to do this job this way, or, you know, or it's not going to work. Well, you know, he would love to be able to, you know, function the way, you know, his manager wanted him to function, but that's just not in his ability. You know, he does his best, but, you know, he has limitations. And this guy just did not want to accept that. You know, it's like, I don't care. You're going to do it this way, or I'm not going to be satisfied with you as a human. And did I just, oh good, I thought I flipped that over on my shirt. You know, that just doesn't work. I mean, he tried to meet the guy's expectations, but no matter what he did, he just couldn't get there. And I let him decide when it was time to quit. Honestly, I would have preferred he quit a lot sooner than he did. But I just really am struggling with these things tonight. I really don't like the cut look. I would prefer it to be a little torn, but I'm having trouble with the tearing. Why is that? Okay. Yeah, if I'd had my way, I would have had him quit sooner, but I wanted it to be his decision. I wanted him to feel like it, you know, when was the right time, if there was a time, you know. And so I let it be his decision. Well, it just so happened that about the time he was ready to concede that this just wasn't going to work was right like days before the pandemic started. So it really worked out well because, you know, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but it was a grocery store that he worked at. And he would have been on the front lines every day. And with him having asthma, I really don't think, even if he could wear a mask all the time, that it would be good for him. So I think things worked out the way they were meant to in the right time. But now we have to start the process all over again of him finding a job once, you know, things are back to normal. So he's a little nervous about that, but I told him, you know, you just got to have faith in God that he will get him to the right place. I'm a firm believer that if you do your part, God will do his. He'll guide you. He'll direct your path. If you give him that invitation to do so, he will do it, and he will get you where you need to be. So that was one of his goals, along with we're going to try and get him a driver's license. So pray for me on that one, you guys, because I am going to have to be working with him on driving this summer. He's going to have to get his permit. He did pass driver's training when he was in school. We just never reached the point of getting the driver's license. So that's something that we'll be working on. So a couple good goals for him, along with some other things. I want him to get a little more independent in recognizing when he needs things other than groceries and being able to go and get them himself. So one thing that I have had to face with my dad passing is my own immortality and figuring out what to do for my kids for when I'm gone, especially my son. So I'm having to look into that stuff too, but definitely wanting to get him at a place where he is as independent as possible. You know, it's always been a goal, but I'm just feeling like I need to do a better job at amping that up, you know, and trying to get him further along, because I think he can do it. I think sometimes because I do stuff for my kids, they rely on me to do it when it's really stuff they could do themselves. So I got to work on that. Okay, I'm going to pause you guys for a quick minute while I dry this. Okay. I think these pansies make a really nice background on here, don't they? Isn't that pretty? Trying to get the glare off it for you. Aren't those beautiful? I love that. It's one of my favorites, I think. Okay. Sorry, I keep going over this way and getting off camera, but I'm really just, you know, ooh, look at these. Isn't that bird pretty on there? That is gorgeous. I'm really trying not to get glue on my shirt. It's one of my, I really shouldn't be wearing this shirt working with Mod Podge. I have ruined a couple sweatshirts that I originally had worn to work, but then I got Mod Podge on them, and then they became not work sweatshirts. They became home sweatshirts. The only thing with these is that they are like tall and narrow, where my cards really go the other way. Although, I mean, there's nothing that says I can't go the other way with the card, because I could always like paper clip it on the side of a page too. So I really want to get that bird on one. It's kind of like right at the top too. Okay, I think what I'm going to do with this one, because I want to get it positioned right, is I'm going to just do a little bit of the card at a time, because the problem is when you get all the Mod Podge on it, it makes it curl, and then it's harder to position because it's curling on me. But I do want to tear the top of this. Oh, don't tear the birdie. I'm just tearing around it, you guys. I just have it up by me so I can tear it. Okay. So I just tore it off like this so it'd be a little bit easier to work with. And then there we go. Okay. And then I can go ahead and put the rest of it on there. There really is something to be said for just gluing things on something. It's very relaxing. I remember when the Jersey Crafter started her channel, she was all about the don't think, just glue. that was her mantra. Don't think, just glue. And look at her now. Now she's doing tutorials. That word was not going to come out right. You know, she's showing product and, you know, how it works. And our Jersey girl has come a long way, I'll tell you, from where she started. It's so funny because I remember, yeah, I'm just going to sit here and talk about, yeah, my channel Jersey. But I remember when she first started and, you know, wasn't sure if she really, you know, wanted to do videos or whatever. And then she discovered live, and that was all it took. And that was her preferred way of joining the community of doing videos or whatever. So I'm glad you did, Jersey. I'm glad you jumped in, and you know I enjoy your lives very much. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, I will link her channel below. She's not really one that cares about building her channel. She wanted to get to 1,000 so she could stream with her phone, and that was all she really cared about. But, you know, she's just such a positive, upbeat, fun person to hang out with. So I will link her channel just in case there is anybody that watches me that doesn't know who she is. I love her to death. She's a real sweetheart. Oh, I didn't really mean to glob that on there like that, but I don't think it'll hurt anything. I guess that's kind of a nice thing with these silicone brushes. You can kind of, I feel like you can manipulate the Mod Podge better than with a brush. Because, like, you know, a brush, it's, I don't know, it just seems like it soaks in with a brush. But with the silicone, it kind of glides over it. Of course, it doesn't help when my fingers stick to it. I don't know. I just feel like I have better control of the Mod Podge with the silicone. Let me put this over here. I forgot when I turned the camera off to dry that I don't have to do that for every one. I can do a few before I do that. This one has a lot of pretty birds on it too. So I thought that would be a good one to use. Not that the theme of the journals is birds, but it's really more butterflies. But I like to include the florals, birds, and butterflies all together. And I know that's not everybody's style, but I don't really try to, it would be so hard to try to think about what every woman's style might be that these journals are going to. I just trust God that the right ones get into the right hands, because they're mostly like inspirational, uplifting, positive kind of journals. And, you know, they can decorate them more themselves if they want to once they get them. I just kind of lay the foundation, I guess. Now these are smaller. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to lay that on there, but I guess I could do that where you guys can see what I see. I don't like it because it's got like, well, I'm probably being too fussy. I just like it better when it fits. I think I'm going to save this one for a tag because I have some small ones, and I'll use this bigger one instead. I mean, it really wouldn't make a big deal if I put it on there like I was showing you, but I don't know. I just don't want to. So I'm not going to. Now, another day, it might not bother me at all, and I'd go right ahead and do it. But in this moment, nah, I don't want to do it. Let's grab another napkin. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm pulling off camera sometimes to do that stuff. It's just easier for me to lean back in my chair and bring it up where I can see it and work on it that way. You guys know what I'm doing. I'm fighting with the corners trying to pull it apart. It seems to come apart better when I don't have it on the camera. So I don't know if you saw my other video where I shared a different kind of rack, which stands for Random Act of Kindness. But I am in this group on Facebook that I got invited to by the main teacher that I work with when I sub. And it's the Sisterhood of Traveling Wine. So what we do is we post our things that we like, which I'm not picky, I like everything, but we post what we like, and then people will pick someone to wine. There'll be a wine fairy, and they'll say you've been wined when you get something from them. Now, I have done a couple of baskets myself. I actually purchased one off from Hickory Farm before I understood exactly how this worked. But I have no problem blessing people, especially, if I have the money to do it. And the lady that got it was blown away and loved it. So I'm glad. I'm glad that it blessed her. But anyway, yeah, I should have tore it off a little bit, so I'm not trying to work with a great big piece. But anyway, the other thing I went to our local store, which is a Myers. I had to get my mom's groceries, and so I grabbed a couple things for the lady that I was going to wine. I picked somebody before I left and looked at what they like, and purchase things based on what they liked. Now, it's up to the people how much they get, how they want to do it. But I had seen people doing baskets and different things they put together with like chocolate and whatnot. Some put like beauty things in there too, like masks or whatever. Just it's the idea of it is just to it's just something fun to do during this time when we're not allowed to really socialize much and all of that. And we leave it on people's doorsteps. We ring the bell, and I think they call that ding dong dash or something like that. But and then you just take off, and they go to their door and they find what the wine fairy has left at their door. So it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not a huge drinker. I'm not trying to promote, heavy drinking. But, I only drink at my home, and, I have a glass of wine here and there, whatever, which, I don't have to justify myself to anybody. I'm grown. I can drink if I want to. But the point I'm trying to make is I am not trying to promote excessive drinking or anything. I'm just saying that this wine fairy thing is a lot of fun. And I got wined today. I got a bottle of wine left on my doorstep while I was out taking my son home. So it's just fun. Okay, so I had to pause the video for a second because my daughter popped down here. And now I hear the phone ringing, so I'm going to have to pause again. But these are the two that I've got done. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Although to you guys, I never really left. But it's just so funny. I haven't done a regular video in how long? And my kids just can't leave me alone. My son, he seems to think I'm here for his entertainment. If he's bored, then, you know, let me just call mom and let her entertain me or something. I'm like, I'm trying to do something here. I was already with you today. I took you and got ice cream. You should be good. Then I just get off the phone with him and get ready to turn the video back on. And here comes my daughter, who knew I was taping because she had come down here before and I had to pause. She had a video she wanted me to watch. She was watching parents terrorizing their children with a scary bunny dressed like, he was supposed to be the Easter bunny for the kids, I imagine, but he did not look like any bunny that should be visiting children. He had a face that was pretty scary. It looked like a bunny that would be like in a horror film. Poor kids, traumatized for life, I'm sure. But it's just funny watching them run away. That's not the Easter bunny! And they're screaming. Oh. So I got those other two that I had done dried and over to the side. Still got 4 more to go. Well, this is included in that. I got a total of 4 more. That's the thing when you're doing a bulk amount of journals. There's just so much stuff to make to go in them. Someday, when I am a grown-up crafter, I would love to be like Gail Augustinelli. Well, in so many ways. But what I'm referring to right now is I would love to have a day where I just work on making ephemera for future journals, like just to have on hand, you know, to have a little bin or basket or something that has, you know, things started and they just have to have like decoration or themes added to them, like for whatever you're using them for. I just have not gotten to the point where I've had the time to do that. And I just, look what I did. I just flipped that all up my arm. But that's my goal someday when I'm a grown-up crafter. I want to have ephemera made ahead. So I just have to go through my little basket like Gail does and pull out stuff and be like, oh, that'll work. Just add this to it and that to it. Bing, bing, boom, we're done. Instead of having to start from scratch. See, the smart thing to do, not that I'm saying I'm smart, would be once I got these journals done to have a day like that and do more of this kind of stuff so that it's ready for the next batch, because I know I'm going to be making these on the regular now. So isn't that pretty? I don't know why I am so far over to the left tonight. I didn't change my camera location. I changed my computer, and it's like I keep, you know, gravitating towards my computer instead of being here under my camera. And you know what? I'm going to have the same problem with this that I had with that other one. So I am just not going to fight with myself tonight and just put that over there for tags. because I have these other ones I can use. It's not like they all have to be different. I could be making at least a couple of the same, but I don't seem to be doing that, do I? I keep pulling different napkins. That one came off relatively easy. Okay. I need to get my wine out that I got today and have a glass of wine before I go to bed. It's a kind that I have been wanting to try. I think they sell it at Aldi's. Oh, what is it? What is the name of it? I can't even think what it's called now. But it's one that I've been wanting to try, but I hadn't heard anything about it. But a lot of the ladies have been getting it. So, and I guess Aldi's has it on sale too, which works out perfectly for what we're doing. I should have got a new wax paper out because that one's getting so much glue on it. That's another reason why I keep going over that way, is to avoid where I've got glue here. Working myself into a corner. These ones are really the easiest size to use because you have so much space to work with. It doesn't matter if you don't get it on exact. I'm just pushing it on here. It doesn't matter if you get it on exact or not. It's coming up right here in the corner. This corner's coming up just a tad. Okay, I'm going to move this over and I think I'll just fold that over a little bit. There we go. Whoops. I was grabbing the one I did a minute ago instead of what I'm working on now. I'm just tearing it off. I'm just bringing it up here where I can work with it and see it. Got that old eyes thing going on, you know. I wonder if that was a Facebook notification or somebody's going live. Oh, no, Facebook. I think my Facebook notifications and my live streamers notification is the same sound. That's a pretty one. I like that napkin. So let's see what else has been going on. It's like there's always something every day. I just don't always remember what it was. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so make sure that was underneath. Yep, I highly recommend these silicone brushes. I just really like the way you can just glide it across there, you know. And one thing I've noticed too is that sometimes I would accidentally tear my napkin with my brush because like maybe I had too much Mod Podge, but this you can just glide it right across like that. You know, I mean, it's got that edge, you know, and it's almost like a squeegee where you can just get all the excess off of there. So yeah, I really like it a lot. Okay, so that one. I'm getting piles, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and pause and dry those. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have 2 more left, and I think after I get these 2 done, I'm going to call it a night because we're already at an hour and 10 minutes into this video, and, you know, it's just basically me doing the same thing over and over. That's why I kind of preempted it with, you know, you're going to want to craft along with this video because I'm not really showing you anything. Just listening to me drone on about my life while I do some gluing of napkins. Nothing that requires too much concentration or nothing that you really have to watch. I'll be doing that. Sometimes I'll be watching somebody else's craft with me video and I'm doing my thing and listening to them and they'll say something. I'm like, oh, wait, what'd they do? And I'll have to stop and, you know, go back a little bit because I missed something. It's like, you got to warn me ahead of time when you're going to do something I need to look at. But I know I like to watch craft with me videos while I'm crafting. It kind of makes me feel like I'm crafting with someone. So I hope somebody is enjoying this one and is crafting along with me. And if you are, leave me a comment and let me know that you were crafting with me and what you were working on. That's always cool to know, right? Plus, I just like to read you guys' comments. I have like 800 and, well, it keeps changing. It seems like every time I put up a video, I lose subscribers. So I don't know what that's about or if it's a coincidence, but I was up to 868. Now I'm back down to 865 again. But the point I was making is that, you know, out of that many subscribers, I get less than 100 that actually watch my videos and even less that like or comment. So I don't know. I don't know if people are not liking content or they're just scrolling through or, you know, I just haven't been consistent enough lately with interesting videos. I don't know. But, you know, I don't know if there's really much point to have 800 and some subscribers if less than 100 of them actually even watch your channel. I don't know. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if people just want to, you know, be on my channel and not watch me, that's their prerogative. But I just don't know what the point of that is. And I realize too, you know, I mean, I can't watch all the people I'm subscribed to most of the time. So, I mean, I get it. We subscribe to people and, you know, we hit and miss our visits. So I get it. When I had started this, you know, I had started the Let's Monkey Around series where, you know, I picked different projects to make that I had seen other people do that I wanted to try. And I still want to do that, you guys. I still have the boho beads was the next thing we were supposed to do. Like, I haven't forgotten. I just haven't had the time to do it. But I mean, it's still there. I mean, it's still something I want to do. I still have all the papers with the different ones that I've chosen that, you know, we were drawing them out of the box every week to see which one we were going to monkey next to give it a try. And I thought that was a fun idea, you know, but it just, my life just isn't at the point yet where I can consistently put up, I guess, good content videos. It's my goal though. I want to have a channel that people want to watch that's fun and relaxing and maybe a little entertaining. And if they learn new things, that's cool too, because I'm a teacher by nature. Um, but yeah, I definitely want it to be more than what it is right now. But um, I guess it's not the time for it just yet, because that's not the way my life is yet. I'm not retired. I'm not without responsibilities beyond myself. So for now, I've got other things that have to take precedence, which I know nobody's complaining. I'm just talking. I'm just talking, doing what I do, being my typical weird self. I really like that one too. That is really pretty. Those were some really pretty napkins that I got from Rosemary. That was the night we were on her channel and made her do a sale. She wasn't planning to do one. Actually, I don't think it was so much we made her as it was Hottie Popo made her. Might have been a couple other people involved in that too, but Hottie's the one I distinctly remember wanting her to pull some stuff out. Okay, I love these. I wonder if these are lilacs. They look like lilacs. Yeah, they are. Those are lilacs. That's just about we're just about getting into that season here in Michigan. And oh my gosh, if you haven't smelled a lilac, then you are missing out, because they smell so good. I would love to have a bunch of them in my house every day, forever. They just smell so good, and they're so pretty, especially when you get the different shades of purple. They have pink and white too, which are equally beautiful, but I really like the dark, and I don't know if they have the dark ones on here. Well, they're kind of like that, the dark ones. But yeah, they're just beautiful. My mom used to have a great big lilac bush in her yard, and I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if my dad took it out, or if he extended the farmland into that area where it was and got something on it. I can't remember what happened to it. But she only has one small one left on the other side of the house, which is also by, it's by the other side of the field. And when the people that are renting from her did their plowing, because my dad did no-till crops, which I'll give y'all a little farm lesson here. No-till is when you do not plow up the land at the end of the season. You alternate your crops so that you can, I think what he did is he planted winter wheat, and then when the winter wheat was done, he planted soys, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. But anyway, you just alternate the crops. You don't plow up the soil. And I can't remember what the advantage, I know there's an advantage to doing it that way. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, these people, they plowed everything. And my mom was like, boy, they got awful close to my lilac bush. They were coming right into the yard. So she was really worried that, they might have got something on her bush, like Roundup or something, when they killed the crops that were, they weren't crops, but it was the stuff left over from my dad planting. It might have been from the winter wheat. They had to kill that off before they could plow and plant whatever they're planting. So yeah, so we were worried about whether or not she was going to have lilacs this year, but thankfully, it is okay, and has some buds on it. So I've been thinking about getting a lilac tree and just keeping it in like a huge pot in my yard, because my soil here is terrible. I tried to plant rose bushes one year, which normally I grow beautiful rose bushes. Other places that I've lived, not trying to brag, but the people in my community would go on walks around the complex just to come around and look at my flowers, because they just grew so well where I was at. And, I had a good teacher in my mom. But here, it's like they died. Like I couldn't even get them to do anything. And I haven't really tried to plant anything since. I got so discouraged with that because, you know, roses are the one thing I usually can grow. So, but anyway, I thought maybe I would try just doing a lilac in a big pot and see if that would work. But I haven't done it yet. And I've never tried to grow in that way, so I don't even know if that works for them. It was just a thought. Like that. Was the napkin like that, or did I? Oh, sorry, I'm not even framed. Sorry, you guys. I got to get used to my computer being over there and keep myself more over this way. I don't know why I'm so far over. A little off kilter tonight. Imagine me being off kilter. Kind of the story of my life, I think. I don't like the way that is. But anyway, I got to quit worrying about it so much and thinking it's got to be perfect because it's just the background. I'm going to put other stuff on here with it. So it'll be okay. Stop stressing, Durinda. Just put it on there. This isn't the final product. This is just the beginning. It's just the foundation. I have perfectionist tendencies, in case you guys hadn't noticed. I try not to be, but sometimes it comes out. Not as bad as I used to be, but always room to grow, right? Okay, so we're at an hour 22, and I just have to dry those two, and then I'm pretty much done with these. But I was going to show you guys the ones that I've done. And of course, they have curled, but they will uncurl. So we've got, oops, got this one. Where can I put it? And this was one of the, I think that was the very first one I did. I got that one. I got this one. And this one. And this one. Love this one. Just for something different, right? And this one. Love this one too. And that is all of them. And then I've got this one over here that I have to dry a little bit more. And this one. So that is our 10 index cards. And I will go on to do some collage on those and something to decorate them. So we will revisit those at a later date. We didn't get to the tags, but we'll do those another time. I'll be sure to turn the camera on so y'all can see what I do with those. But anyway, you guys, my gosh, it was so nice to be able to do a craft with me video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed making it for you. So, so yeah, I've talked an awful lot tonight too. My throat's a little raspy from talking so much, but anyway, I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. I don't know if y'all got plans for the Memorial Day weekend. I'm not going to be doing anything different than what I always do, but that's okay. But anyway, whatever you guys are doing, wherever you're going to be, I hope you have a great weekend, have lots of fun, and enjoy whatever it is you're doing. So take care. God bless. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.